Do you find yourself struggling with a noisy mind, laying awake at night, or just not present or productive because you're constantly lost in thought? Well, I'm going to show you a fast way how to end all that crazy noise so you can be happier, more successful, and more conscious in your life. Coming up. Welcome to the Power of Quiet, where we're here to show you how to have more happiness and more success just by being you. And if that's something that interests you, hit that subscribe button because you're going to discover that everything that we do here actually works. Now, what we're going to take a look at today is how to quiet all that crazy noise in the mind. And we're going to start by examining where all that noise comes from. What makes your mind so noisy? Now, I'm going to boil it down to just one reason. And it's a very key root reason here. And that cause for all that noise is desire. You see, when you're desiring something, say you want a better lifestyle, you want a bigger house, you want a better car, you want a better job, you want a better relationship. Anytime you're wanting something, you're putting an instruction into your mind that says, hey, go find this for me. Show me how I can get this. And what that's like is it's like programming a web crawler. It's just going to take that instruction and it's going to go crawling. It's going to keep crawling. It's not going to stop. It's going to be gathering information, sending it back to you, and then it's going to keep going and going and going, gathering more information until it just loads you up with a bunch of junk. And it's just like looking at, the results in Google. And you look at all this stuff, a lot of it's just completely irrelevant, not exactly what you're looking for. And you're looking and you're checking this and that. And that's what it's like when you put that instruction into your mind to go find out how to get whatever it is that you're wanting. Now, here's the thing. When you stop the wanting, you turn yourself around to come from a completely different position. A position of havingness. A position of just being present in the moment with the sense that in this moment, this is enough. And when you're coming from this place, you're happy, you're peaceful, you're content, and you're in a place of havingness. Because when you're coming from a place of just, I have it all, I'm happy with right now, and you're genuinely happy with right now, then the whole world reflects that to you. And abundance literally falls into your lap. And this is provable. Just by doing what we do here on this channel, you get to prove that to yourself. So, how do you get to this place? Well, I'm going to show you. And it's really simple. I'm going to show you a very fast way to just turn around and come from the position of contentment and happiness and havingness right now. And it starts with a choice. It's a choice to love yourself. And this shows you a big problem that we all have with wanting. You see, all this wanting, like when you put that instruction to your mind, go find that thing for me, what's the real purpose of doing that? In anything that we're wanting, what are we really looking for? Happiness. Like if I had that new car, I'd be happy because I'd be more in control. It wouldn't break down on me. It'd be nice. I'd get people's respect because I got a great car, all that stuff. It really boils down to being happy. If I had a great relationship, I'd be happy. If I had a better job, I'd be happier. All that stuff that we're looking for, we're really looking for happiness. So when we're making a decision to love ourselves, guess what? We're bringing that happiness into the here and now. So let me show you how to do that. First, we gotta dig out the unhappiness. Because if we try to go for happiness, but we have unhappiness inside of us, which undeniably we all do. We have a lot of frustration, a lot of anger, a lot of sadness, grief, all of these feelings that pull us down. We're holding on to a bunch of unhappiness. And as long as we're holding on to that, deciding to be happy is like trying to drive a car with the handbrake on. You're just not going to get anywhere unless you remove the unhappiness. And let's start with that. Think about something that, well, you're unhappy about in yourself. And just take the first thing that comes to mind. Because there's probably a number of things you're unhappy about. But just look at one of the things right now that you're unhappy about in yourself. And can you see that that is your picture and your judgment about yourself? And really what you're doing is you're disapproving of yourself. Now, when you're disapproving of yourself, look at what you're doing. You're dumping negativity into your picture of you. And how are you going to achieve happiness? By being negative. That's silly, isn't it? And you're doing it, right? It's your decision to judge yourself or to be dissatisfied or to hold on to that picture. See, if you're disapproving of yourself and you're doing it, now you just have to make a decision. Now, would you rather be positive and loving and be happy? Or would you rather be negative, beat yourself up, and be unhappy? Which do you prefer? Now, obviously, your preference is to be happy and to be positive. And right there, that's showing you that it really is your choice. And since it's your choice, right now, can you choose to let go of disapproving of yourself? Could you let go of that decision to be unhappy with yourself? And it's a simple decision, yes or no. It really is that easy. Can you just decide to let go of disapproving of yourself? And could you let go of disapproving of yourself a little bit more? And could you let go of disapproving of yourself even more? And could you let go of disapproving of yourself even more? And could you let go of disapproving of yourself even more? And even more. And even more. And as you're doing this, notice this incessant habit of beating yourself up. We all do this. And you see how ridiculous it is? It doesn't change anything. It doesn't fix anything to beat yourself up. Although some of us have this crazy idea that, well, if I beat myself up, then I motivate myself. Nonsense. You just fill yourself up with negativity. And it's a habit. We all have it. So what we're doing here is we're starting to break the habit and discover something new, something that's always been here, right in front of our noses. We just weren't noticing it because we were just blinded by this habit of beating ourselves up. So we got to make a smart choice now. Now, could you let go of disapproving of yourself even more? Again, it's just a decision, yes or no. And could you let go disapproving of yourself even more? And could you let go disapproving of yourself even more? And even more. And even more. Now notice how this feels. Just making this decision to stop beating yourself up. And you see, it's your decision. Now notice if you feel lighter. You feel that difference? And what a difference this makes. Now, could you give yourself some love and approval? See, here's where we start practicing happiness and havingness. Could you give yourself some love and approval? Again, it's just a decision, yes or no. And could you give yourself some more love and approval? And some more. And could you give yourself some more love and approval? And even more. And you don't have to have any reason to do this. Just love yourself just because. And could you love yourself a little bit more? And could you love yourself even more? And even more. And even more. And notice how you feel now. Notice if you feel even lighter. And notice if you feel a bit quieter, more content, right now in this moment. Now, what you're practicing is what everybody's been talking about with the law of attraction, having abundance. See, abundance comes from acceptance. And this is what everybody talks about when they talk about having an attitude of gratitude. In a way, they're just talking about loving yourself. But they don't really show you how simple it is. It really is this simple. It's your decision right here. Now, could you love yourself a little bit more? And a little bit more. And a little bit more. And notice how you feel now. Now, notice if it feels more like you don't need anything in this moment. As long as you're loving yourself, really, what do you need? Right now in this moment, if you're just loving yourself, you don't need a thing, do you? It's just enough to love yourself. And in this sense of not needing anything, now you're coming from a sense of havingness, abundance. And this is your natural state. This is why it feels light and easy and quieter. This is an experience of the real you, the natural you. And this shows you how all that thinking is not natural. Just notice a difference. Just think about like when you get lost in thought, or you're just thinking about how do I get something, you're trying to figure out how to make it happen, and how harsh and just rigid that feels, as opposed to deciding to love yourself, and how easy and light this feels. This shows you the radical difference. Now, as you practice this, you'll witness results. When you come from a sense of ease, the whole world mirrors that back to you because the whole world is your picture. And this should be obvious. You know, when you get frustrated, what shows up in your world? Problems, challenges, things that get you more frustrated. Whereas conversely now, when you come from a place of happiness, loving yourself, the whole world loves you back. And abundance falls into your lap effortlessly. And notice how your mind is this much quieter than it was a moment ago. This shows you how unnecessary that mind is. And if you could just stop your thinking totally, you'd be in complete bliss and happiness, unlike anything that you could imagine. This is just a taste of it. So keep practicing this. And in the comments below, I want to hear from you to see what is your biggest challenge to quieten the mind. So like if you are practicing this and you find like you can only get so far, or there's just something that keeps getting in your way, let me know in the comments below. And I will do some additional videos to tackle these specific challenges. And plus we can also have a conversation. You know, if it's something simple, I can let you know and point you in the right direction. So let me know. What is your biggest challenge? What's in the way? And let's move through it. And conquer our lives in a good way. All right? So let me know. And I look forward to being with you again soon.